Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and this is going to be a fall reading vlog focused on a specific book that I randomly picked up at Target last week, and I'm actually very excited to dive in. I have not heard anything about this book. I was pulled in by the beautiful cover and honestly like special edition of this book that was even more beautiful when I actually looked into it at home. The book is stunning. Never heard of it. It was seated right next to Twilight, so I have high hopes. Also, when I was in Target, I was like, let me look this up and see what's going on Goodreads. It was marketed as Crescent City meets Fourth Wing. Those are some huge shoes to fill, and I've read both of those books. Crescent City is definitely more high fantasy, and Fourth Wing is obviously fantasy, dragons, really great. Crescent City, I liked when I read it, but looking back, it was kind of too much for me. I have not read the third book, and I don't really plan to. Fourth Wing, I'm obsessed. I did hate Onyx Storm. Sue me, I'm sorry. Hated it, thought it was a filler. You can't change my mind, I'm sorry. But I am excited for the rest of the series. The first two books were 5 stars, so good to me. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, add to cart, and I am starting to read it this week. I am talking about Bitten by Jordan Stephanie Gray. Never heard of her, never heard of this book, but it is stunning. It is a werewolf story. It has gold sprayed edges, which I don't know that I love since I will be reading this physically, but it is stunning. And then when I got home, I opened the book and I was like, oh, okay, we're going for it. We're really just stunning art right there. And then I took the dust jacket off. And I was like, oh, it continues. It is a stunning edition of a book that I've never heard of, has no hype around it, but they came out with this stunning edition, and it had a sticker on it that I did remove that said Book of the Year, like a Target Book of the Year. So I just need to know what is in this book, what is going on, is it worth the hype that Target's giving it? I don't know. This edition was only $16 at Target, which I thought was kind of a steal. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give light spoilers, but nothing crazy. I will mention if I'm going to say a spoiler. I read the prologue and the first chapter last night just to kind of get me into it because I did take a half day today, so I have some time to read. So I kind of wanted to start it to just get intrigued, and I definitely am intrigued. The female main character is a 17-year-old girl, and this isn't her point of view, at least so far. But yeah, I don't know much yet. I'm going in pretty blind. I'm very interested in what I'm getting myself into, but I'm also really excited, and I hope I love it. So let's dive in. Okay, quick little reading check-in because I'm going to take a break here from reading, but I did make it to part 2, which is page 49, and I'm really enjoying this so far. It is young adult, so it's easy to consume and digest. It's not like a crazy fantasy. So I am like confused a little why it's related to Crescent City, because like I said, Crescent City is like adult high fantasy, like what am I even reading kind of fantasy. This is really easy to understand so far. I mean, we're just kind of diving into the werewolf situation. This book follows a 17-year-old girl, and the first couple chapters are her and her friend getting ready and going to this party. It's Vanessa, the main character's birthday, and they're going out, and Vanessa didn't really want to go out, but her best friend kind of drug her to this party, and like things are going fine, and then all of a sudden Vanessa gets pushed like in the middle of the dance floor, and her best friend like goes into mama bear mode and like freaks out and gets in a fight with this girl who is in the group of whoever pushed her, and the girl slaps the best friend and like leaves like a huge mark, and it's like bloody, and like her friend kind of starts going a little mad, like she seems different, and she like gets really hot and everything, and then like all of a sudden Vanessa and her friend are getting attacked by these wolves. And I guess I'm gonna spoil here, but I am within the first 50 pages, so it's not like a huge spoiler because you find out right away, and honestly I saw it coming. But spoiler, her best friend dies. Her best friend gets attacked by this wolf and dies, like brutally, like dead. And Vanessa does end up getting bit pretty bad on her stomach. She calls her dad, who is a police officer. He doesn't really help her because the wolf like talks him into letting him take Vanessa with him because she is turning into a werewolf. The werewolf was like, yeah, she's gonna die if you don't let me take her with me. And the dad literally was like, okay. Like, he was like oddly chill about it. He is a police officer, so maybe he knew already that werewolves exist. But Vanessa did not know. Like, it's like a secret. So I don't know. So I'm assuming part 2 is going to be her waking up wherever the werewolves live, and they said they're gonna lock her in a room to like make the transition. We'll kind of see where it goes, but that was like the dramatic opening of Bitten. So I'm really liking it. It is a little like immature, but it's also young adult, so I wouldn't expect anything less, but it's not like annoyingly immature. I'm 31 and I'm like having fun with this. I think I'm gonna take a break to watch a movie and do some diamond painting, and just kind of like relax. Happy Tuesday. Little reading update. I don't have a long time on my lunch break, so I don't have time to actually read, but I did get to page 81 last night in Bitten, and I'm going to say a few spoilers, but I'm only 80 pages in, and the spoilers kind of make sense with the title. So spoiler alert, she was bitten. I think I already mentioned that, so you already knew anyway, but she has been bitten, and she has officially turned into a werewolf. And the queen's court is very intrigued in her because she has purple eyes, and like no one else I guess has purple eyes. So like red eyes are alpha, other people have yellow eyes, and then if you're like the queen or king, you have black eyes. She has like these violet purple eyes, which makes sense with the cover. And so they're very intrigued and don't know what her like special capabilities will be as a werewolf. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. She's at the queen's court and she's going to go to school and like learn how to be a werewolf, I guess. So yeah, very intrigued. I like the writing. It's very easy to comprehend, and I'm having a good time. Hi, long time no see. I did not check in yesterday because I didn't read much and I just didn't feel like being on camera yesterday. So here I am on Thursday. I did go to the cute little coffee shop and read a little bit outside. It's finally feeling like fall and I love it. But yeah, I got a chapter and a half read there just on my lunch break. and I just wanted to check in on how I'm feeling about Bitten. I'm liking it, but it's kind of slow to me, and it's really easy for me to read a chapter or two and then put it down. It's just not like pulling me to keep reading and like figure out what's going on, or like who should she trust and like all this stuff. But I also understand she literally like just became a werewolf and her whole life changed. So she's trying to figure it out, and she's starting a new school and meeting new people. So I totally understand why it's reading a little slower. But for me, kind of being in a reading slump the last couple weeks, I just have not been picking up my book as much as I would like this last probably month, honestly. I wasn't as excited to read in September, so I wanted to get it back in October, and I'm kind of struggling, but I want to keep going. I love it. It's not that it's not good. I haven't read a YA book in a while, so maybe that's what's throwing me. I'm not sure, but I also haven't read a fantasy in a while, so it could just be kind of the shock of that. But I am liking it. I like the characters and the world. I'm almost 150 pages in, so that 200 mark will be about halfway. So I really want to get halfway today, and then I should have a lot of time to read and finish this weekend. We don't have any plans. Tonight, though, we are going to this like jack-o'-lantern spectacular thing at the Minnesota Zoo. So I'm really excited. I've been wanting to go to this for a couple years and just had never bit the bullet and bought tickets. So I'm dragging my husband, and I'm super excited. There's like over 5,000 carved pumpkins in this like walkway. So I'll definitely be getting some clips to show you, but I'm hoping that'll put me in the fall mood, and maybe I can read a bunch of this Friday and Saturday. It's so hard as a reader when I'm in these moods because there's new books coming out every week, and my TBR just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like there are books I put on my TBR years ago that it's still on there. I still have a want to read those, but it's so overwhelming, and there's an ad playing. You can't kill my ambiance, YouTube. Looking at you. 1 second. Okay, as I was saying, it's just so overwhelming with all of the books that I want to read coming out. So when I'm in like a little slump like this and I'm reading like a chapter or two in a day, and it's taking me like a week to read a 400-page book, I'm like, where is she? Where's that reader? Like, what is going on? But real life does happen. I have a full-time job. I have a husband. I have a family. I just have to remember that. And every month is gonna be different. I have a feeling that if I get like 50 to 100 pages more into this, it's gonna be crazy and really fun. So I just need to power through and keep going. So that's the plan. Hi, I finished Bitten. I finished the book. It did take me 7 days to finish, which we'll get into why I think that, but right off the bat, I'm giving it 3 stars. I have some issues with it, but I also did like some parts of it. So the issues I had with it, it felt really slow. It's under 400 pages, and it took me 7 days to read. And I read 118 pages last night after I finished this of a sports romance in like a very little time, and it took me 7 days to read 370 pages to complete this. So it just felt a little slow to me. I kind of liked the first like 10%, and then the next like 50% just felt a little slow, and the world building was just really slow. And I felt like all of Vanessa's connections with people, with like the boy she likes and his cousin, and even her like maid, who they kept saying were like, you're my best friend, you're my friend. No one's connections were really like deep enough for me to care that much. The romance definitely lacked. This is a young adult novel. There are like full intimate scenes, like there's one full sex scene and then another scene that they're intimate. And there's a lot of people in the comments that don't like that because it is young adult and the female main character is 17. I know that I read books in high school that had sex. I mean, I read a few books like Sarah Dessen and Someone Like You, like it's a teen pregnancy. So it's like, I know there are other young adult books where sex is a part of the story. And it wasn't like graphic, like it wasn't like a Tessa Bailey sex scene by any means. It was very tame, but I do understand that, you know, maybe some people wouldn't want their 14, 15, 16-year-olds to read this, but I think like 17, 18, like I think definitely could handle this. I just feel like that middle chunk was a little lacking. And then honestly, the last 40%, I read it all last night. Like I just sat and read until I finished because I needed to finish the book and this vlog, and I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't 5-star great amazing, but I enjoyed the last 40% a lot more. And there's like a big plot twist, and it kind of ended abruptly, and there's no mention of a second book or a series. Kind of interested to see if she will come out with more books in this world with these characters. It's a fun fall like werewolf romantasy. If you want something of that nature, it's fun and it really should be like a quick read, but for me it just wasn't, and that's totally okay. But yeah, I'm giving it 3 stars. I'm excited to be done with it. I'm glad I read it, and this will be a really nice addition to my shelves. I have a couple wolf books, so I'll put them all together. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you'll subscribe and stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!